Well, hello there, and welcome back one more time here for match number 3. And it is going to be match number 1 on the NA server. We are going to be able to spectate our friends from across the pond battle it out. It is going to be a match in between the pretty well known, I would say, team of Escalate under their Captain Tiger. Then we have the NA Attila, Silent Wolf, Dusan, Stored. We have Citizen Aber. I think that might be Aubrey, though.
Yes.
Dua Lipa, Enjoyer, and Mr. Hood.
Yeah, this is a team that I don't think too many expected to be at this point, but they are there, which means they deserve it. We'll see how they bring it up to Smile, though. Smile, a very, very good team. We also saw them in the wild card tournament with their captain, external, all around, individually, very, very skilled players. If they can bring it home today, we'll see. I mean, OP Hacker is completely ready for 7v7. He's already played over 2,000 battles of Onslaught on the way to Legends, so he should be well and truly just ready to game.
Is he, has his journey come to an end regarding that? Or
I don't think his journey has come to an end just yet.
Oh, that is.
Sometimes the night is long and full of terrors, Kian.
Yeah. I mean, at least I didn't see night so far, if you know what I mean. No experimental tactics so far. But yeah, OP gonna be trying. Who's calling in between all of those players? Is it gonna be OP? Is it gonna be external?
It's mainly external and Lip doing the strategic department.
All right. So as we do that, we are moving into the map pick and ban in between Escalate and Smile, and we see that Mainz and Himmelsdorf are not going to be played, at least in this match. We have Morovanka, the map that we just saw, being the first pick, with Smile being the attacker on it. Then we have Cliff as a round number 2, where Escalate will start defending. Ghost Town being banned out. Tundra, possible map 3, where Escalate would start defending. Sand River and Prokhorovka being banned respectively, leaving Steps as a tiebreaker. And once again, this means that we are not going to see Ghost Town.
No, we're not going to see Ghost Town. We haven't seen it at all, right?
I believe for the later pick and bans today, Ghost Town is a definite possibility. But yeah, I wonder what is driving the teams not to do that. I remember yesterday night in the NA matches, Ghost Town was played, but it doesn't really seem to be enjoying a good reputation amongst many of the teams that are playing. I remember some tournaments where we felt like
every time.
Ghost Town after Ghost Town after Ghost Town after Ghost Town. That is not the case this time. Perhaps teams not entirely sure how to play the map. I believe last event we also saw basically the same tactic, essentially geting copy pasted.
Yeah,
like
the
3-4 times.
The push into the cap, right? Is what you're talking about.
Push into the cap and then following it up with super heavies. Where very few teams seem to have an answer until everyone seemed to have an answer, and now it seems like teams don't really know what to play anymore.
Because everybody has an answer. They don't
because,
play
exactly.
It
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it is what it is, and
this is another one of those stories, though. By the way, this is something we didn't talk about. Smile is the NA representative going to China, so this whole tournament for them is, I mean, important to see where they stand amongst the NA teams to begin with, because it's kind of like a real practice,
Yeah, exactly, because you can scrim and you can train as
it
much
doesn't
as
compare to a match.
Exactly. The actual competitive environment of playing those matches in the training room with an admin there telling you like, hey guys, make sure you have your replays turned on. I'm gonna count down from 120 seconds. If there are any problems, you need to write stop. We're going to recheck again, once again in the battle. Is it actually is everything fine with you guys? Unready at 20 seconds. All of that amounts to that pressure, and obviously it is not the training environment where at the end of the round, if you won, you can maybe just TK someone, have a good laugh, have a good banter.
I mean, you can if you want to.
You can if you want to, but one, it's a bit of BM, and two, like the environment doesn't really lend itself towards it. Like as soon as it's clear that the round is won, the focus for those players is going to immediately switch to the next thing at hand, which would be the next round already. And all of that is not something that you're able to replicate. So especially for Smile, but also for Escalate, the experiences that they are going to be generating here are very, very important ones, which will help them in the future. Smile, we said it, they are going to be very happy that they have this opportunity still to train together, actually, with some show matches that are going to happen at the end of the month, in between the regions, actually.
The leak?
Not really leak, no, but I don't think they are going to be officially featured. There are going to be clean feeds, though, so maybe some content opportunities for you, Ducky.
We will see. Depends on what time they are, Kieran.
Yeah, that is where the problems start coming in. I believe some of them are going. Basically, it's in between most of the Chinese teams and then Europeans and then Ace. So some of them are going to be at 4 a.m. Some of them are going to be at noon, though, our time.
4 a.m. would be a bit late. Noon
would be a bit early. Say it how it is for you.
No. Noon there's potential, but 4 a.m. would be a bit late. You know, it's just a tiny bit late.
But yeah, I think that is already looking into the future too much. First of all, we have this match here on our hands in between Escalate and Smile. Smile, I would say, are the ones who should be favored.
Yeah, for sure. I think that is very fair to say.
Yeah, I mean, the casters and analysts' predictions sort of representing that. Both you and Toxic going with a bit more brutal 4-1. Meanwhile, Insane and I are saying it's going to be still a pretty comfortable 4-2 for the team of Smile. We have seen upsets, though, especially in between Tango and Burger earlier today. So let's see in this first NA match that we're going to show officially here in the Million Pucks VOD 7, number 13, Escalate, storming into this one, coming in with double 60 TP, 1 IS7, 1 S-Conk, double E5, and a bad shot.
Smile, on the other hand, the Bat and S-Conk double mouse and triple IS7, and I hope that Escalate will be elevating themselves and not like their nicknames, taking a lot of L's.
That is indeed the question here. And on the other side, the question remains, are the team of Smile actually going to do exactly that? Or is it going to turn into a frown as Escalate, maybe with the higher level of gameplay, having trained a lot recently, apparently, Silent there, and Tigor and Hood getting split off with the S-Conk double 60 TP towards the western part of the map. The other 4 tanks for Escalate driving east, and Vova with the Batchat 25T. Trying to do a bit of an early spot run. That one has sort of gotten a little bit safer ever since the forest was, like the ditch there was a bit deepened. But yeah, if the enemy tanks start driving this aggressively, then it can be very, very hurtful, although it seems like only one shot does connect.
Only one shot does connect on towards Vova. Escalate is also sending a quite severe number of tanks here, Kihan. They have that 4-man hit squad, the Batshot with the heavies coming into quick succession. In return, 1-2 line being pressured by Smile, and that's the double 60 TP of Hood and Tiger committing 2v3 there, actually, if you look at it, with the triple IS7 facing off against double 60 TP. Lip, External, and Fluky, they're just going to go for that, but Lob from Crossfire as well. Silent a bit far away, and they still have those tanks in the forest, which are currently not really contributing.
Not gonna lie, this looks a bit like the copy-paste from last match with the IS-7s and the 277s getting kind of pincered here. Lob with the mouse is going to stay alive for a long time, and those IS-7s are going to be able to freely peek on that 60 TP. The punishment already brutal. The HP very low for Tigor and Mr. Hood. The punishment on the IS-7s not really there. Yes, the 60 TPs are able to retaliate somewhat, but with Sebastian and Fly above them, the days of the 60 TPs, the days of the Polish heavy tanks are numbered, at least in this round. Both of them getting shut down.
Those were what we call 2 freebies for this side of Smile. Yeah, we saw that double 60 TP commit, but triple IS7 chasing them down with the S-Gunk from above, the mouse from the middle. The layers of Crossfire there are too much to really deal with. And now they're just continuing down 1-2 line on towards Silent on that S-Gunk. He does have Aubrey in support, but we'll see if that Batchat can really make those clips work against those frontal IS-7s. Not really the most fun experience.
The Batchat now starting to open up fire. The first one connects, the second one does as well, sending external to the grave. But now Loop committing in here against Silent, who will not be silenced so easily as he puts in shot after shot after shot into those ISMs, who now starting to commit in. Aubrey still 2 more remaining in his clip. The fourth one connects on his way to the perfect clip. It is Silent with the next pickup, and all of a sudden looking good for that Esconk. If he gets to face huck the IS-7, that one will have a very, very difficult time, as it's still... this is going to be close with the reloads, but Volva coming in from the top is going to secure the kill and is going to go immediately on towards that reload. 5 versus 4. This one's not decided yet, but Smile have more HP.
Smile have more HP, and Attila taking 1-2 connection there in the I7 is not going to help. It got a little bit close there on 1-2 line. Aubrey with that, indeed, that perfect clip, but then Fova came in with his bad shot, and otherwise Silent would have killed Lip in that I7. Just sheer DPM advantage he has, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just drive on towards the IS-7. Ooh, Volva there getting spotted out by Aubrey. Sees him in turn, but that is a quick 1-2 tap on towards that Batshot, reducing him towards a 2-shot. Aubrey immediately going on towards the reload. The cap, though, started by the team of Smile. An action-packed game so far. It's not over yet. Smile still with the HP advantage, but that mouse, it is a linchpin that Escalate are trying to remove from the game.
You know, Citizen moving in. Aubrey did get a reload going, though. He has 15 seconds. He's a bit far away from the cap right now, Kihan, I must say, in that bad shot. Seems to be... Oof, Attila on the move. Dusan from the distance. Connections coming in strong here for the side of Smile. But like I said, Aubrey is a bit far away. I don't think he makes it back here on time. He does actually. Vova getting spotted out. And Aubrey find the kill. No, that's a heat shell there. Tries to get it over that...
Oh.
Rubble pile not working out. 4 seconds left, though. Finally gets the pickup against Vova. Now needs to play safe on that bad shot. He's a crucial linchpin here. Can he get the side connection on Lip? He does actually. Beautiful shot there from Aubrey. Belgium's finest coming in. Unbelievable stuff. He has one more for that IS-7. Holding onto the shot. He's going to be making the peak here. Can he get the connection? Yes, 3 kills as well for Aubrey. And Smile have made an absolute disastrous mistake in this round. It's going to cost them everything.
Exactly. Smile there with that triple cap that went down to the wire. If we're honest, 2 seconds were remaining on it, but then the resets clutch for Escalate. The Batchat now reloading with Aubrey. And as soon as he's going to be reloaded, he should have an APCR clip moving forward. So all of the fences, all of the rubble not going to be an issue anymore. All of the HP concentrated on that German super heavy tank of Sebastian, all of it concentrated on the mouse, and he was indeed very happy to farm those 6 CTPs, but now everything coming back to hurt him. Citizen committing in on towards Esconk, and yes, the E5, maybe face-hugging is not the best idea against an Esconk, but if you just have the HP advantage, and if you can secure those shots in towards the lower plate, you're gonna have an easy time. Aubrey reloaded in the Batchat is going to also put those shots in towards the mouse, and I can't help but feel that Smile were doing actually a quarterback cosplay, throwing that round as far away as possible.
Bro, they got 2 60 TPs for free, 2 of them, and lost. That is mauled territory. That's the receding hairline kicking in there immediately. And I think Aubrey was a bit risky with that reload, but that was fine. But he was a bit far away, you know? I think he was a bit far away to get the reset. They got it like on the nick of time, but that was scary, you know? I think he went a bit too far away.
I think it wasn't even him that was putting the reload.
No, somebody shot the bat.
Yeah.
So I think he was too far away.
The E5 from middle, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was too far away, no, when he was reloading. Afraid he was going to get pushed, but almost...
So I'm trying to find out right now. So defense points on Attila, we have 55. On Aubrey, it's only 10, so he didn't really reset.
It has to be... I mean, it has to be the...
so it must have been Attila with the reset points.
Bro, Attila also hit the mouse on the move. Dusan penned the mouse from like 400 meters. That was a bit lucky for them, that they got those double connections when time mattered most. Yeah, so that was a bit lucky, but that 1-2 push with the I7s, okay, they're driving down. External dives for really no reason. Fova is on A line for a long time for no reason if they want to do this. The Bat, if he was with them, would have went for Aubrey and just killed him. Now he came in late and then he didn't I even think that he should still have went for Aubrey nonetheless, together with Lip to kill him at that point. But they really, it's really bad from Smile. The mid-game decisions and the way they played it out, and deservedly so. They lost their attack, which 9 out of 10 times they win that round. This is the one time where they didn't.
Yeah, I think they were getting a bit ahead of themselves, trying to force the decision like everywhere instead of just pressing the advantage where they had it, because they thought they were so far and incredibly far ahead that they couldn't lose it anymore. But I mean, it takes two, right? Smile throwing, Escalate not giving up, and taking a first round that should not realistically have been theirs, but beautiful gameplay at the end. The double 60 TP, I mean, that, is a strat issue, if we're honest, at the end of the day. That should not ever happen, but, sometimes it happens, and you're going to be all the happier if you're essentially snatching.
I mean, if you're Escalate here, you're like, wow, that happened. Crazy.
Yeah. And if you're Smile, you're going to be, wow, that happened. Crazy. Round number 2, though, with the favorites being behind here. 1-0 for the side of Escalate. And Smile, well, they've still got 4 to go. For Escalate, it has been reduced to 3 here, but still early days in this first match from the NA server that we do get to spectate. And if every single round in this match is like that, I'm not going to mind.
No. Could go anywhere then. But now Escalate has a real opportunity to take 2 rounds. And that would be something to start with.
I mean, yeah. They are gonna be on Murovanka attack now. But I think the lineups are going to tell us a lot more about what might be happening in between those two teams here. As Escalate is coming into this one, looking to make it 2-0. The Rheinmetall Panzerwagen is making its first appearance here, together with Triple S-Conk, 1 Mouse, 1 i7, and the 60 TP.
And the 60 TP, the Smile lineup, on the other hand, 4 i7s, a Conk, a Bat, and an IS4. So again, very mobile on the defensive side. It's funnier that the attack has the heavier lineup.
Yeah, the attack with the heavier lineup, the attack, though, also with the Rheinmetall. So I'm going to be very curious as to what Aubrey is going to be doing. I think a lot of players that haven't really played light tanks recently still underestimate the incredible DPM and view range both that the Rheinmetall currently gets. I think it has like 420 base, so he's going to be able to blaze through the entirety of the map, though he does get spotted. Good shot by Sebastian on the move, who needs stabilizers if you can just have aim.
You see the IS4 go into this window. We've seen that before, if you remember. But for Escalate, just really Tiger there in that 60p, taking so much control early on, Gian. Look where he is already.
Yeah, the 60 TP is in a kind of unusual position, actually. Not really one you tend to see a lot of the time. So that means that those two teams are now in this, I guess, sort of weird stalemate for the time being, where the attacker tried to push up somewhere, the defender has pushed up somewhere, and now it's up to the sort of defender to find out how to deal with that very, very aggressive 60 TP, whereas Escalate, they now have a lot of options, at least I think in the middle of the map, opened up with that 60 TP. But the thing is also, it's an asset, but it may become a liability at one point, because the more aggressive you push a tank into a position, the more angles are going to be there. And external with the overpeak, with the HE connection, almost 600 damage. So far, the Rheinmetall not working out at all.
Not working out at all, as Aubrey takes a large pounding there in the RHM, down towards 500 HP. And yeah, that intuition to a tricky hand against RHM, it's very nice, as you may know.
Yeah, it's a nice touch here. And the thing is that Aubrey 547, that is an HE one shot for an IS-7 now. And with the reworked HE, it doesn't take long to switch, and you can be sure to switch. So he needs to be extra careful because there is not one, not two, but 4 IS-7s. And I think the IS-4 also is like a 50-50 if he rolls him.
But HE?
Yeah.
I don't know what's the AI is for HE Alpha.
Beating me there, but given it's a Soviet gun, I think it should get a lot of HE Alpha. Let me...
530 apparently.
530 apparently. Well, yeah, so pretty much a 50-50.
50-50 for Yuki-Han because you're lucky. Not 50-50 for the rest of us.
Ah, well. You know, skill is when luck becomes a habit.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let you have it.
Yeah. All right. Who don't have it yet, though, are Escalate on their attack. They are now sending double S-Kong towards the forest, but I'm not really sure if that is going to be what they really want. They see that IS-7 in that super hold-down position that sometimes also gets used in 15v15 even. The IS-7 basically there, it's going to be invincible if you don't over-push it. You can see. He's like, yeah, hey buddies, here's my turret. What you gonna do about it? And realistically, Dusan, not a lot that he can do about it. He can spam HE at it, and that's pretty much it.
They do have a real opportunity to kill him if they pressure 9-0 line, though. And I know that Vova is there in the bat. Right? I understand that. But if the bat doesn't really connect all his shells and the damage is spread across the guns of Escalate, then they will just find this IS-7.
Well, I think that already was the second shot from the Batchat that went in here. Good shot by External into that Super Kong, but the third shot from the Batchat also not connecting. The fourth one for 20, nice roll. But I think that's going to be all she wrote. The Batchat starting to evacuate, and Dusan, as well as Attila and Mr. Hood, all of them penetrating. And Dusan is just going to have the DPM advantage 10 out of 10 times. Is he going to win this 1v1, especially with more shots from the backlines rolling in? And it seems like External, sorry, not External, it's Escalate. They have found an opening as they're just going to keep rolling over the eastern part of Murovanka.
I think Attila is waiting here for his friends. He's actually going to drive through the water on the lower part. I think he'll be safe at some point. The question is, how much damage does he take before he really arrives in that safety position that he wants to be? Because Lip already did 2 shots on towards him. I think he might have just arrived there now, but he's still taking shots from the back line. So now Fluky and Fly are being spotted out. Time is ticking though. No connection there from Tiger in the 60 TP. Attila down towards the 1 shot and actually falling as well. That is not really what they wanted here.
Yeah, the kills now being 1 apiece. But the problems for Escalate being that on their attack of Muravanka, they have bled a lot. They're down 4,000 HP, and one of the guns they have, yes, it's Rheinmetall. It's not as bad as a T100, but it's still not a 100% combat-worthy gun. And it's a gun that has to be extremely careful against essentially all of the tanks on the enemy lineup because, well, the IS-4 maybe a 45% chance to roll him with HE. The S-Kong, well, he can be fairly confident to survive there, but like the Batchat is just going to do 2 shots and be done with it. Dusan here taking another L down to 364. Luke might fancy himself a bit of an overpeak as Dusan 1 more shot but gets shot down, and we are left with 8k HP against 13. That is 5,000 difference. Vova getting found though in that Batchat. Needs to be careful. Possible HE 1 shot, but even that is not going to salvage the situation. Yes, double cap has been started, but Smile, they haven't even started committing all their forces into the fight yet.
Yeah, and Lip in the meantime is just cleaning up the right side of the map. He found already one of the S-Kongs of the Sun. Now he's finding Mr. Hood as well. Looks to be just fine for that IS-7 to go through that upper hull. Vova then picks up Silent. Aubrey getting picked up by Sebastian. So Smile with a defensive round coming out. Doing well, finding that RHM in the beginning, which had not a lot of game impact, but mainly that Attila moved there through the water. I mean, okay, I've seen it before, but I don't think you'll never ever be safe at the IS-4 position though from G7.
Yeah, no. that IS4 position there. Really taking a lot of map control here for Smile early on. And the thing is also the 60 TP that got moved up. I was talking about an asset becoming a liability. It became a liability very, very late as I think I need to do something with my cam possibly. We'll see.
There was Inception
But yeah,
for a second.
I think we are back here, and that means we can immediately move back towards the battle results screen, possibly even as we try to make sense of what just happened, because that 60 TP that got pushed up very, very far didn't find a lot of impact.
No, but overall, I mean, nobody really finding anything in general. The S-Kings being the highest, but even them.
I mean, essentially what happened to the S-Kongs was, right, there were tanks driving towards them, and an S-Kong is never going to do terribly in that scenario. You're always going to trade away, essentially, like, if not your own HP, but most of it in damage. So, yeah, them being up there regarding 2.2, 2.5k HP, it's not terribly surprising, I would say, but in the end, I think the biggest problem here for Escalate being that their game plan just completely didn't work out.
Well, that moves on to Cliff, though, which should be an interesting one. I'm ready to see some big old fights in the middle.
Same. Cliff, a map that I really, really like watching. We got a glimpse of it yesterday. We're going to get at least 2 rounds of it today here in this match that is currently 1-1. And let's be real, if Smile plays that first round out in a better way, then it should be 2-0.
Mm-hmm. Could be a similar story as between Hit and Run, and then, you know, how Hit and Run and Cashback picked up the first rounds, and then afterwards it was kind of all Hit and Run. I'm having some small deja vu feelings here.
I mean, going into this one, obviously, Smile is favored, since they are the ones who won the last tournament, but
Yeah,
even then, yeah, I think we just have to see what's happening, as a lot of things are happening currently.
Gremlins in the software, bro. Gremlins in the software.
Just some, you know.
That was some impressive belly talking again, whatever it's called.
Yeah, and then after that, you know,
Inception.
If there's one of you, you know,
a daki within a daki.
Like, if there is more of you, having is always better than needing. That always applies to the maximum number of dakis in a stream that you can have. But yeah, on we go towards Cliff. Cliff, also a map that has seen meta shifts, not only in randoms, but also in competitive recently, I would say. Those punishments that we saw, like, I would say a few tournaments, probably like 7, 8, 9 months ago, where teams had like double 50B, possibly even on lower side, to try and punish like the crosses up towards the hill. We don't really see that anymore. Sometimes we have a singular 50B doing that, but not even that often anymore. It's mostly about just brutal brawling power in that middle, getting the hill positions, or punishing the cross up. And that is sort of where the state of the meta is at. That being said, Escalate coming into this one. It is 5 BZs and a singular CS63.
A singular CS63 versus double CS63 and 5 BZs?
So this means that essentially a 50B is getting traded for a
bit for a CS.
Yeah. So a bit of clipping potential for a bit of single shooting power, mobility, something like that. As we move into it, and yeah, Escalate sending everyone but a singular CS towards the middle. For the side of Smile, we do see 1 CS and double BZ towards the middle. Lob there with the 50B is going to take a crossfire position that's supposed to essentially punish the cross into the donut, but he's not really going to find a lot. He's probably going to transition to try and punish the cross on towards the hill as the CS63 of Dusan does make it across into the crossfire position. Is he going to be happy, though? There is the question, as a lot of BCs behind him.
A lot of BZs behind him indeed, and that's very quick into the middle from Escalate. Dusan now taking the approach of we're running away, but Fova is already on the hill, and Escalate here decides to go through the middle all the way as Tiger, in the meantime, is climbing the hill, silent, taking the brunt of damage. But I like this from Escalate. Kihan, Smile right now, need to repush, need to retaliate, need to come back into this middle area, but Sebastian there trying to escape, but there is nowhere for him to go. Dusan now needs to go even further away. Somebody's gonna push external off a cliff, push him down even. One of the guys should focus on this, but instead they're all repushing the middle, just letting him be alive. Not sure if that is 100% the right decision at this moment in time, Kian.
Yeah, it's a bit weird to see them let external just live there, but maybe they know something that we don't, as Dusan is falling down towards a one-shot, does get cleaned up. First kill of the game here. Very good gameplay by the side of Smile, reacting to that pressure. Who does have the DPM advantage here on the hill is the question. It is going to be Vova with another very, very good shot. Double crit actually on the side of Tiger, who is going to take the L. Vova the one to pick it up, and now in the middle of the map it is all Smile, it is all yellow tanks, as we can take a look at the HP numbers as the 50B is not even in the game. They are starting to get focused out one by one by one. 7 versus 4 tanks currently, with Vova lording over them from the hill, able to put shot after shot after shot.
Yeah, this is easy pickings for Smile at this point. I mean, Escalate, I think, had the right idea going down the middle, but mistakes have been made in the department of reactions. I think, first of all, somebody should 100% push external down that cliff in his BC. He would just die immediately. And I think Dusan also needed to go back on the hill, right? Retaking the middle, sure, but not having anybody to... The cliff for external is one of those... you fall, you die. If you push him off, he dies.
And the thing is, there was one of the BZs of Escalate that was actually able to control him. But the thing is, he takes like 3 shots to
Controlling
kill him.
is pointless. Just push him off and then go back into the middle. And you don't even boost back into the middle. You see them push across. You just peek. You kill Sebastian. Dusan should be going on the hill when he's running away to help Tigger to win that, instead of staying in the middle to get caught. And then you have a real opportunity.
Yeah, but like that, it's going to be Smile that after a first round where they seemed like they were the masters of the throw, now they're coming into this one, actually showing us what they're made of here. 7-0 the scoreline in a game that felt like Escalate could have won, which is very weird to say, but Cliff is not only the map where it matters the most, how you split at the beginning of the game, even more and arguably more important, and I think that is what we just saw mostly here, is how you react to where you find the enemy tanks. And if you don't make the decision to push off an enemy heavy and kill him with that, and maybe you don't deserve the victory.
I mean, Cliff is this map where you need to do the really quick reactions, and they did do that. The push from mid was quick, but then they lacked a little bit of an overview to be like, okay, until I push external down the cliff, we peek and kill Sebastian, Dusan go on the hill. They lacked that overview to make the right decisions at that moment in time, because what they needed really was to push external off, peek the middle together, kill Sebastian on the left. It's -2 tanks. Even if you're down in HP, if Dusan does join the hill, you will then have the hill to shoot down towards the ramps, and then you can easily retake middle because the 50 will also be reloading, and then you can actually make the fight happen.
Yeah, like this though, scoreline 2-1, and I am just like you, getting a bit of the yeah, you know, hit and run against Burger vibes from the last match, actually, where it goes the way of the underdog in the first round, and then all of a sudden, like, the favorite actually remembers, hey, we are supposed to be the better team. Let's start playing better and start winning rounds. That's exactly what we're seeing happening. After that first round, Smile always looking like they're in control. Might be down to having Aubrey in the team, who knows, but in the end, they were able to exert dominance here onto Escalate in not 1 but 2 rounds.
Could be a similar story here. At least Smile is showing good openings. I mean, their opening really puts Escalate in a position where you either do something immediately or you lose.
Yeah, and they did something and they lost regardless. So, I mean, we are about to see in round number 4 what's actually going to happen. I mean, I believe the lineups are going to be revealed very, very soon, and then we'll see if there is any kind of finesse coming out of those teams. Because, yeah, past round there was 150B. This one we have one again, but first of all, Escalate. That finesse not really there. Brutal power, in your face, pushing potential. 6 BZs, 1 bad chat.
6 BZs, 1 bad shot versus the double CS, the 4 BZs, and the 50B again from Smile. So 1 less BZ compared to last round and 1 extra CS. But they like that burst potential of the 50B.
Lacking that burst potential from the 50B, but having the burst potential from the Batchat that does have more damage in its clip. But first of all, I think it's important to mention that Escalate, if they can get the engage off, like team versus team, I think if there is an engage, then Escalate will just straight up win due to having more, like almost super heavies, having more HP, having more alpha. But if Smile is able to take positions with their more nimble tanks of the double CS of the 50B, then it might be very, very good news for the side of Smile here, actually. And we see Lob with the 50B putting in 1, putting in a good second. We'll see, does he have time for a third? He does. Immediately going on the reload is going to go on towards the chase, as we do see the heavy tanks from Smile taking the middle as well.
Aubrey took quite a few L's there in his badger. He's trying to get behind that little position. Was that an HE shell from one of the BZs?
I think
because that low rolled super hard.
I think from one of the CSs, possibly, not even sure what exactly happened, but external, the first one falling to the grave. Bova now looking for that pickup on towards the BZ, gets it. Loop once again reloaded, coming in with that 50B. Mr. Hood trying to drive away, gets picked up as well, so the 1 kill that Escalate was able to generate immediately answered. Double fold.
Double fold indeed, as 2 tanks fall on 1-2, a third to join in the middle of the map, and this is Smile dominance all over the place right now. I mean, sure, Aubrey will get his clip in towards the middle, but I think Smile, with that 1 thrown round on Muravanka, have said to themselves, we're not doing it twice, as Aubrey falls down a cliff because he is from Belgium. We don't really have a lot of hills. He's not used to descending them. Unfortunately for him, we'd have to move to France for that. It's just Silent and Citizen left. And again, really good opening from Smile, controlling the pace of the game, getting the angles, getting the early damage, and then just being able to pick and choose what they do next.
And I think the scary thing for any team left in the NA bracket right now is that we're seeing a team of Smile that is time and time again able to make any kind of setup work here. They had the more nimble setup with that 50B in the lower side, but Lob doing a very, very good, very consistent job with that 50B, getting the damage in, recognizing that it was his time to immediately chase after, generate more kills at the donut, and at that point it was simply over. The 50B definitely the match winner here for the side of Smile, because the other tanks didn't do any mistakes. The 50B had time to just reload, clip out, do that time and time again. And overall, solid gameplay from the team of Smile, who did the last one 7-0, this one 7-1. Cliff, pretty brutal story if you hold it with Escalate.
3-1 match point for Smile. In a different world, this game is over already, Kian. It is very reminiscent to Hit and Run versus Cashback. First round thrown by Smile, but in the other rounds, Escalate really not having an answer.
And indeed, once again, like, yes, external does get shut down pretty early in that CS. But the thing is that when it came to the engagements that were erupting everywhere around the map, it always seemed like Smile had more guns in the fight effectively. So they just did the better job of positioning. And now after Muro, which arguably should have been a 2-0 for Smile, and Cliff, which undisputedly was a 2-0 for Smile. We now arrive at Tundra, which normally is considered to be a 1-1 map. And Escalate picking defense means Smile does get to attack.
Does get to attack, and that is going to be
4-1?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, okay, let's be real. First of all, the side. Second of all, the way the last 3 rounds have played out, I think it's fair to say, to give Smile the credit coming into this match up, that they are really just on form outside of that initial throw. And I think that initial throw honestly made them angry, and it's good to be a little angry when playing. I mean, it's not. There's a limit to it, of course, but there's a point at which it's probably not that good anymore once you start like smashing your desk and stuff. But being a little fired up, losing that first round, it's like you're angry. It's like, what did we do, guys? What did we do? I don't know, man. We just threw. And then they come into the next one like, come here, Aubrey. Run, boy.
Yeah, that is exactly the reaction that you want to show as a team, definitely. After, yeah, it was the throw so far for me of the tournament. Like getting double 60 TP and losing then, like, oh, what the hell? The other 3 rounds though, very, very solid, especially the 2 Cliff ones, just, almost styling on the opponent. I mean, if you play 2 rounds of World of Tanks in 7v7 format, and in 2 rounds as a team, you only manage to kill a single tank. Yeah.
Well, we'll see if Escalate can put up the elevator to the top, but it's been all Smile in the last 3 rounds, and I don't feel like it will be much different here. They are the favorites as well, though. You cannot forget that. The heavy favorites.
I mean, for Escalate, we need an exponential development of their gameplay. Otherwise, it's going to be over for them, at least in this match of the tournament. This is still the upper bracket, remember, so Escalate would be dropping down to the lower bracket, but, the way through the upper bracket is always the easiest one to tournament victory. Not only do you have to play less matches, you also get the pick advantage in the pick and ban for the grand final. That being said, though, Escalate trying to stay alive in the upper bracket, first of all, against triple match point here. They're doing so on Tundra defense, a singular 60 TP, triple mouse, 1 S-Conk, double Mino.
Double Mino versus the 60 TP, the 4 I7s, the S-Conk and the CS. Escalate is very, very heavy. Triple mouse, man.
And yeah, on the other team, there is also 6 heavy tanks, but the thing is, you could argue that Escalate has essentially brought 7. Yes, I do know the Mino has a triangle symbol, but the gameplay isn't really that of a normal TD. It is a brawler hold-down tank. On the other hand, Smile starting off with a 2k HP disadvantage. That is a lot, but we do see that Smile recognized that this setup by Escalate is a bit on the heavy side, I think is fair to say. So they're sending Vova to a more aggressive bush than we are normally used to, and he does immediately get the information on 2 of the mouses. Gonna play a bit more of the information game to generate a bit of information gain, but Attila and Dusan, I think, and the mouse behind them, they are not really looking to do that yet, and this is a straight commitment. This is an essentially blind commitment into that 2 cap by all of the IS7s. We'll have to see how the punishment actually does look. It started off badly, but it's okay in the end.
I mean, Exuno taking most of it, and he's the shot caller, it's kind of what they want. If Exuno dies early, it's not a problem. So they committed very early in the south, and Lops on fire. Well, that S-Conk back does like to be crisp from time to time, so not too much of a surprise, but look at the HP advantage that Escalate has built for themselves in the meantime.
Escalate indeed. 5,000 HP in front, and Dusan now showing why the IS-7 does not want to start trading against the 60 TP. It's just the alpha disadvantage that the IS-7 has if he can't put like 2 shots for 1 because he doesn't know what's behind Dusan. And we can see now Vova in that CS kind of caught here in the middle of nowhere. He does have a hill to play around with, but he recognizes if the double Mino actually reaches him, he's going to be a dead CS63. So Vova is going to start making his way away. Has to be careful not to turn on his side, but this means that Smile now, it's do or die. It's the execute coming in.
Yeah, they're coming with these IS-7s around the corner here. Somebody's going to have to take it. Lip has taken the initial volley. Lip's taken it all to 1.7, immediately delivered to the face of that Eskong. Dusan getting Amorak, though, doesn't seem to have a repair kit available. That might mean that he doesn't get a second reload out. It depends if he's using Bond HP or using the experimental hardening, of course. If he's using Bond HP, I don't know if he gets to reload here again. Somebody's going to finish him off, though. External, that job would be on you at this moment in time. Now the Mino crossing the bridge. External finishes off Dusan. I don't know if he got another shot out. Aubrey there, this bridge crossing. We've seen this time and time again. Kihan, bridge crossing usually doesn't end too well.
Usually doesn't end too well, but with the HP advantage shrinking now, it might actually be a horror story for the team of Escalate, who lost the first tank, and this iron fist of IS-7s here in the bottom left of the map actually does continue. Fly starting to make a shield here. They do Amarak Attila. They do take out Attila. So now all of a sudden it's 7 against 5 guns. External with the flank on towards the mouse. Aubrey with his Minotauro. The next one to fall. The next one being sent to the grave. And now all of the IS-7s in the hold down position. Fluky, the next one to peek over. It is just more guns. Once again, the story of the game. More guns in the shootout. Mr. Hood down towards a 2-shot. 4 Soviet heavy tanks around him. Down towards 10 HP. It needs one more shot to finish him off. He's not going to get another say in the matter of this game. 7 guns against 3. This is Smiles styling on Escalate.
Yeah, this is an individual level, by the way, that they're getting owned. I think Dusan used this repair kit on his tracks, so he was Amoraked after. Probably a mistake, to be honest. I'm not sure if he was Amoraked before or not, but Minos crossing the bridge is never the answer. And also on 1-2, they should have actually been able to hold quite well against these IS-7s. But you saw that peek from Attila, but his track out, he got tracked and took 1.5 to the face immediately when he should be using his mouse, right? Smiles winning this match. This round, I don't know if they should have won, but if you're in a 2v4, the mouse is the sponge and you're the damage dealer. You shouldn't be the one peeking with the Esco.
Yeah, indeed. And honestly, I think 4-1 now being a fair result here. The first round should never have gone Escalate's way. This last round should never have gone Smiles' way. So I think in the end, throws being traded. But I feel like the problem that Escalate had, or rather the thing that Smile did very, very well in the end, was simply that they recognized that even though they had less HP, they recognized that, hey, we can generate a gigantic overmatch regarding DPM and regarding guns and HP and armor on one part of the map, while we can't really get overpushed somewhere else, and then that snowballed completely out of control. So I think that is the one thing that Smile did very, very well in this matchup, but I think there are two very beautiful people who would like to expand a bit, not escalate, on towards the match we just saw. Insane, Toxic, take it away.
Are you sick and tired of being relentlessly shamed for your lack of skins and loot boxes and other cool things? Well, don't worry about it. We've got you covered, Jimmy. Hi there, we're Million Pugs. You've probably seen our logo on stream, but here's what we actually do. Million Pugs earns you skins and in-game rewards whenever you shop online. When you shop with any of our partnered brands, you earn our own loyalty points, called Pugs. You then swap those Pugs for some spiffy World of Tanks loot like premium tanks, premium account access, and gold. Anyway, head on over to millionpugs.com now and sign up for free.
I'm just gonna take over as Insane is muted. We did just witness the first NA match on this cast. Let's take a look at the bracket, what it actually means. Smile won their match quite convincingly, actually, versus Escalate, which is a team with some European Legionnaires. Smile will be moving on to the grand final, which we will be seeing tomorrow. But Escalate still has a second chance in the lower brackets final also tomorrow. As Insane just dropped connection, I will keep on speaking. We will be switching over for the next match back to EU, where we will be watching the upper bracket match, I believe. Yeah, the upper bracket match between Opor and W. And after that, we will be going back to NA, but for now, Opor and W is the match to focus on, which could be quite interesting. Both teams won their matches 4-0 respectively. Insane, what's your take on that?
Well, first of all, I guess I'm back. Thank you for taking over Toxic. But yeah, first we had that match from NA. We're seeing the EU brackets now, and we're gonna have next probably the most interesting match of the one we have been waiting for, Opor against W. But I wanted to point out about that NA match. Even though Smile started with a very scary start with a big throw, they managed to take the victory 4-1. So they proved that they had that mental force to reset and take a very convincing victory in return. I had the feeling that Escalate was just not playing well. They had some openings that could have worked out, but on a personal level and on decision making, they got completely outplayed.
I mean, good for Duck and me. We both got our predictions correct, and let's look at the replays how exactly we got our correct predictions correct. We started off on Murovanka, where we basically saw an opening that was similar to what we just saw in EU. And Smile, similarly to the EU match, took great advantage of it and created huge advantages for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, when you see this opening, you're like, oh, it looks like a replay a bit of what happened on the EU bracket, if you remember, between Tango and Burger, where Tango had a very easy victory taking out those things to the 3-4 lines. But after one Smile, maybe overconfidence, just providing Escalate to have the opportunity to take the full map control, not pushing past the base one and trying to force that cap pressure, not working out in their favor. Actually shocking performance.
You know what I'm wondering? There's this new outline system where it actually shows you what obstacles you can shoot through or not.
Mm-hmm.
Aubrey must have that turned off because you can shoot through that cap tower, which he did in the end, but his first two shots were kind of messed up. So I don't know, Aubrey, maybe check your settings again for the next tournament.
Well, at the very least, you'll have another shot in the losers bracket. Now, talking about the second one on Murovanka between those two teams, you could see that Smile managed to bait Escalate into pushing the forest. Yes, they're going to take down External in the process, but afterwards, they kept on pushing, but Smile is already positioned back to counter them over the K line, and honestly, this move from Attila over the water was not it.
Definitely wasn't. It seemed like a throw. There is not really a way for him to get into the hull down as long as there is tanks on the K6 position. And you can really see it in the outcome. There's 6 tanks still alive for the side of Smile, whilst Escalate is left with 1 tank, 1,700 HP. It's a mouse. You're not going to do anything. So very convincing stuff from Smile coming back after being down 0-1, not caring at all about the loss that they just encountered and really keeping up their strength. We saw then Escalate on Cliff. They played this mid push, which you can do. I feel like it was 5 to 10 seconds late, but it would have still been fine. The crucial mistake here, as Ducky already pointed out, is not pushing External off. If you leave External in that position, you will not be able to win that match.
I mean, yeah, they had to push External off. Sebastian actually made a pretty good play to escape, so he took all the damage from those things but managed to stay alive. But I think that the issue there for Escalate is also due to the fact that they give away all the positions in return. Yeah, they push past, they don't trade that well on External and Sebastian at the end of the day, and they allow in return Smile to retake the middle uncontested and lose all of those strong positions. On top of it, Bova is managing to win his 1v1 against Tiger on the hill, so once again a convincing 7-0 victory for Smile.
I mean, apart from the first round, the entire match was really very convincing, so that's
Yeah.
must be scary for the other teams to look at. We see here another great opening from Smile, really basically countering Escalate from the start. They have the CSs already in the donut who will be able to take on these BZs together with the 50B, whilst also taking the middle positions, taking the upward positions to be able to trade onto the middle against those BZs. So great stuff from them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, from what I've seen from Smile, I could even say that they would be able to probably compete on the EU tournament with the team we had so far. And regarding those rounds, regarding those cliff rounds, which are very brawly, they manage it perfectly in their openings, positioning, reactions, and even at the end on Tundra, you had the feeling that Escalate went for like some sort of counterplay. The triple tanks, Miles, 60p Skunk lining up to get the damage on the K-line cross. And yeah, they did some great damage, but then you can see all those slight mistakes like Attila overpicking, getting tracked plus damage. And in return, look at Smile. All of those things, they're on a 3 shots, 2 shots, but they are alive, and they manage to keep all their gun alive for so long in all of those games.
The start for Escalate here was really good. They were up quite some HP. Issue being they are only playing slow tanks, and Smile has a very mobile lineup with all of those IS-7s and even the CS. So Escalate not rotating in time means that Smile is able to, keep on pushing, isolate the tanks, and also due to their speed, able to easily keep their guns in the game, which in the end they did beautifully. They had 7 tanks left in the end, even though they had like less than 5,000 HP. So really, really cool team cohesion from Smile. They're cool to see that.
There are not many teams actually capable of playing an attack against some sort of counterplay and end up winning with 7 tanks alive. So once again, really good management from their side. We'll get to see them again tomorrow. They'll be patiently waiting for the NA Grand Finals as they already qualified for it. Few matches from the losers bracket from NA to